Oh, man. After lunch, y'all, it's good. Tummy's filled up. Thompson family, again, just thank you so much. Thank you. Thank you so much. Okay, hi. Are they not gorgeous? Look at them. Look at these girls. I'm so grateful for each one of them. Okay, I want to just introduce to you Jess Olson, Jessie Tanguma, and Allie Hood. I know. You were our very first MC for our very first Madness ever. You wore yellow. I remember.
I had a 6-week-old baby.
Yes.
And you would let me leave to pump.
Oh my goodness. How many kids did you have then versus how many do you have now?
That was my 4th, and now we have 5.
Okay, so tell us, let's just go through. Tell us who you are and show us your cuteness
I'm Jess, the
of
first
all your
MC
kids.
for Madness.
Yes!
It's such an honor to be here today. I live in Boise, Idaho. We lived in Colorado prior to that, and I have 5 children, ranging from 13 down to 4. I have 1 daughter. She's actually here with us today. Her name is Avery.
Yay!
And then 4 sons. And I'm an only child, so I'll just let that sit with you for just a minute.
There they are.
Yeah.
There they are.
Oh, yeah, there we are on a hill.
I know.
And my husband, Kyle, who really holds us all together. So,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that little tiny recording that we heard earlier, the very first little tiny voice, that was her youngest. Yeah, yeah, so cute. Hi.
Hi.
Hello.
I'm Jessie Tanguma, and I am the proud mom of 3 kiddos. My oldest son, Josiah, is in college in Boca Raton, Florida, at Florida Atlantic University. We have fans, FAU, yes. And then I have my middle daughter is a senior in high school, getting ready to graduate. And then youngest is in 4th grade, and she's actually in my math class, because I'm a teacher at Lincoln Academy here in Arvada. And yeah, my husband and I have been together since 1996, so our relationship is older than some of you in the room. Cool.
Don't feel old. No, that's fine.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Awesome.
Allie.
My name is Allie Hood. So good to see you guys. I've never seen this room from this angle. So this is really interesting. You're all looking at me, and this is great. But yeah, I'm a Tennessee native with my husband, Stone Hood. He's the youth pastor here at Harbor, which is how we're connected. Woo, there he is. So we don't have any children yet, hopefully one day, but we do feel super passionate about the next generation. So I get to lead youth with him, which is awesome. We've been doing that coming on 3 years. I've been involved in youth ministry for almost 7. So it's just something that I love and feel super passionate about. And yeah, I'm also a project manager. So I'm in the professional world as well, which is fun. And we have 2 cats, not pictured. Their names are Howie and Raja. If you want to see a picture, please ask me. I have hundreds, and I would love to show you. So yeah.
And she would love to show you. Yes, she would. That's so good. Okay, so we are here to talk about what our kids are walking through. Here's the deal. I feel like this panel really represents a wide spectrum of ages. I mean, you've done homeschool, Jess, for how long?
9 years.
9 years. And you lead your homeschool.
Yeah, direct the homeschool community. So it's a ministry for families, equipping them to homeschool.
Yeah, for a long time. And Jesse, you've served in the public school for
20 years.
Entire life.
Yeah. So I've been in the public school realm for a very long time. I have worked in most of the facets of a school building. So I've taught multiple grade levels. I was a director of a homeschool for a while, assistant director. And then I also was an instructional coach for 8 years. So I've been in administration. I've been in the classroom. I was a remote learning coordinator. So hey, to those at home.
Yes.
Special place in my heart for all those online. You are my people. And so we have walked through all of the different components and aspects of schooling.
Yeah. And youth ministry, I feel like, is huge. Huge.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. And you've been doing that for how many years did you say?
Almost 7.
Almost 7.
Which is crazy. Time flies.
Yeah, it does. It's the real deal. So when I thought about this panel, I'm like, what a more amazing group of women than these women that would represent all the different aspects, because school and church, I mean, that's where our kids are walking into on a weekly basis. And so let's just talk about it. Let's just talk about what are our kids, what are they walking through right now? What are the things facing our kids today?
I can kick it off.
Yeah, go for it.
I don't want to overwhelm anyone with all of this because there's hope and there's God and there's so many good things, but there's a lot going on. And I think even it wasn't that long ago, honestly, that I was in high school, and I meet with our high schoolers now and what they're facing and what they're going through and what they're struggling with. And it's honestly a lot of new things that I didn't even face. And so there's a lot out there. I think if you break it down, I think identity is huge. I feel very passionate about identity because I think a lot of students struggle with it. I think they're confused about who they are, and I think they're looking in a lot of different places to figure it out. And I think a lot of them are searching for truth. I think loneliness, and even as adults, we experience this, right? But as a student, you're looking right and left, and you're thinking, what can I do to fit in? Because I'm lonely, and I want friends, and I want community, but I feel like I'm not enough, and I feel disconnected, and how do I fit in here, you know? And so I think loneliness is huge. I think a lack of belonging, also anxiety, depression, right? There's some real struggles going on, and I think social media is new.
Oh, good grief.
Social media is new, and so that plays into a lot of it as well when you're scrolling and you see all these people and their lives and their highlight reel. And again, you come back to that question of who am I? And am I as good as this person? Am I as funny? Am I as pretty? Am I as cool as this person? And so again, maybe that even goes back to identity and comparison and things like that. There's a lot, but those are just a few things that come to my mind.
Just a few things.
And I don't think it's just at the middle school and high school level. I think that goes all the way down. All of those things, I think, are things that all of our students are facing, even down to kindergarten level. You know, we're in a YouTube generation where kids are not necessarily coming home and watching cartoons after school. They're turning on their social media and watching YouTube instead. And so all of these things, the comparison.
No more Jetsons and Flintstones.
It's not. I know. I turned on Curious George the other day, and the kids didn't know what I was showing. And so, what? And so I do think that it affects all levels of kids.
Yeah, for sure. Do you have anything to add to that?
I would just say that from a homeschooling perspective, our children are not immune to any of the things that these ladies have mentioned. And they covered quite a few of them.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
I asked my 17, I keep saying he's 17, he hasn't turned that till next month, but my 16-year-old, my youngest, I sat, because we were about to jump on a Zoom call, all of us, and I just said, okay, son, what would you say that kids are struggling with? And his first answer out of the gate, he's like, mental health is everything, Mom. Mental health is everything. And he's a boy. And you just kind of think, oh, well, dudes don't. He's like, it is. It's everywhere. It's so pervasive, just mental health and how that just trickles down to everything. Didn't you say you were in a study recently, or you had something happen, or you were in a meeting that you were talking about kids feeling that need and that they're struggling with, right?
Are you talking about the intent versus impact? Is that what you're talking about?
Maybe just you just said that they're just kids just are desperate to belong.
Kids are desperate to belong. And the comparison, I think Allie really touched on that piece with they're so desperate to belong. They want to fit in. They're having such a hard time finding that identity and wanting to then compare to what they see happening, not only in the social media, but also what's happening with other kids in the classroom. And so that comparison.
Yeah. And confusion. There's just flat out, in my opinion, such a huge spirit of confusion among our kids that so much so it's like if I, if I was the enemy, here's what I would do. I would not only make you question kind of what I want to be when I grow up, I would make you question who you actually are. I would make you actually question what you were born at. I mean, you want to talk about getting down to the nitty-gritty. What a spirit of confusion that our kids are having to walk through.
And I think striving to, even in that, what the enemy, his desire is that you will continue to look for places to find an answer or to make yourself feel better, or maybe my identity, maybe I'll feel more comfortable or confident if I'm a different gender. Maybe I will feel more comfortable or confident if I dress this way, or if I do this with my hair, or maybe it's a place, right, that you go, or a people that you go and try to fit in with, but he wants you to keep chasing and keep striving what you're looking for.
There's no peace.
And what we don't realize maybe in that moment, or what our students aren't realizing, is that chase will never stop, right? You're going to keep looking, you're going to keep striving. God is that one answer, truth.
Right.
And so then it comes down to what's anchoring you. You know, where are they getting their identity in? You know, where are they going for that? But it's
Yeah.
always a chase, I guess, or striving.
Yeah.
And I would say, too, in that chase, they do not have to look very far at all to find it. It is at their fingertips
Yep.
all the time.
Yeah. 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 But there's no putting that toothpaste back in the tube. I mean, social media is here. The phone is here. It's not going away. It's not. And so I think sometimes you can have, because my concern with having a panel like this is that young moms with littles, you walk away from this going, I'm gonna keep my kids in my own house. I'm not letting them out ever. And so that's not reality, and we know that. How do we have this conversation though and go, this is real. This is real. This is what our kids. There have been times where I've dropped my kids off and I'll walk. And I'm like, whoa, there's a whole thing. All my kids went to charter schools or public schools. They just walk. I'm like, that's a real thing. And so how do we, as moms, as those leading up and raising up the next generation, how do we go, okay, here we go. Let's do this thing. How do we gird your loins and go and let's do the thing. And so what are some ideas, ladies?
Yeah, I can start.
Yeah.
I think we have to really think about making our home a safe place for our kids to land, but we don't tell them that this is a safe place. Right. Based on what Lisa said earlier, that was so fun and true. But having a culture of open and honest communication in your home for your children to always know that they can connect with you. And I thought it was so fun that I got to land on this question and think about the times over even just the last several weeks that I've seen my children try to interact with me, and I have been so distracted because we're distracted. And so we have to really put those things aside and listen to our kids. I've had moments where my daughter says, we ride in the car for 15 minutes together and you don't say a word. And it's like my brain is just going and going and going. I'm all over the place. I'm trying to drive, and we do it. We're distracted. And she just was like, Mom, I want to talk to you. And I thought, oh, thank you, Lord, that she even feels comfortable saying those words to me because
Yes.
I do want to talk to her.
Yeah.
And so that just that exchange of open communication with us. And then sometimes that means pursuing our kids a little bit deeper. And it reminds me of how God really pursues us and how he wants deep relationship with us, just like we want deep relationship with our kids. And so that looks a lot of different ways. And I, again, being an only child and having 5 children, so that's 5 different personalities to try to engage in, and thinking, okay, well, this child likes it this way. And this child, well, I'm not going to get down to the nitty-gritty with this one until we're all alone.
Yeah.
And so sometimes that means everybody's in the car and we're going to be 5 minutes late for that hair appointment, and they're going to cancel the hair appointment, but I got that time with that child that needed to kind of pour their guts out and just have me there to listen. And so God is so gracious in how he provides. If we ask him to, he provides those opportunities to have a healthy, open, and honest home where we can talk.
That
and
it's
sometimes
safe.
that's just sitting.
That is, but
It needs to be safe,
Yeah.
and it needs to be stated that it is safe. And I always tell my kids, I'm so glad that you're talking to me now, so that you don't have to wait and try to experience this outside of the home when you're grown, because I think I did a lot of that. So it's
I think one of the phrases that I heard that impacted me so much when I was a young mom is, how you listen to your kids today will help determine how much they talk to you tomorrow. And so much, if they know that I'm listening to them and tell me what you want, bring it. Bring whatever you got, and I'm safe. And it doesn't matter what you tell me when they're this big, that they're going to know that when they're grown up. It's like, oh, Mom still wants to know what I have to say.
Sure. I'm sure Jesse has a lot to say about teens and late nights and listening in the late nights too. But
yeah. So that safe environment. Okay, that's good.
One thing I want to add is something that Jess said the other day is how we are our kids' first teacher. And she said that, and it really impacted me because I thought, if I'm
Say that one more time.
We are our kids' first teacher is how she said it. And that really stuck with me because I realized in that moment, like, if I have the responsibility of being my kids' first teacher, then I need to let them see the true, authentic me. I need to be willing to be vulnerable with my children so that they feel safe later on. So that when they're in college, they're going to be texting me a picture of them studying on the beach with their feet in the sand.
Yay.
Because I've built a relationship with them then.
Yeah.
And just remembering that being their first teacher doesn't mean that it's always going to be sunshine and rainbows. You know, a lot of times we think that we can only show our children the best side of us and that we aren't going to be allowed then to have hard days or to struggle or to even fail at parenting that day. But that's not reality. That's
Right.
not true life. That's not true parenting. Like,
Yeah.
we have off days too. And so being able to come to our kids then on those hard days and
Yeah.
being able to apologize to them and just say, hey, I messed up is a really important piece of the parenting role.
Which is so powerful. I mean, we can all think of those times where either somebody's apologized to us in our homes, or we've gone to our kids and said, "Man, buddy, I messed up." And just the power of that. You've talked about that before. Just the power of that matters.
Yeah, I had a situation in the classroom a couple weeks ago. We were getting ready to go on a field trip, and it was a very exciting day. We had a lot of balls in motion with getting ready to go to the symphony and our spaghetti luncheon. We were bringing in parents to bring in the spaghetti so that when we got back from the symphony, we could serve the spaghetti to all the kids. And, you know, I was running around. I didn't have any help in the classroom. It was just me and the 29 kids. And, you know, I'm trying to get everyone organized so we can get onto the bus on time. And in that moment, one of the kiddos walked up to me and asked me, well, Mrs. Tanguma, do we have groups? And I was like, oh, just go back to your seat. Like, I kind of snapped a little bit, like, because I had in my mind, like, my intention was to get everything organized so that it could be the best day possible for these kids. And the impact, though, that I had was that I shut that student down. And I realized, of course, we have groups, and I hadn't given them the groups yet, but she was really caught up on wanting to know what group she was going to be in, because that's a big impact on her day.
Yeah.
And I had to go to her later and apologize and say, you know what, I am so sorry that in that moment I was distracted and I wasn't listening to you. And she looked at me just shocked and floored, like,
Right.
wait, my teacher's apologizing to me?
Yeah,
Like, it was
yeah.
something that I could tell didn't really happen often for a little kiddo. And I realized in that moment, like, I had to also be vulnerable with my students and not just my own children with showing them that I also made a mistake, and I had to own up to it and face the mistake and apologize.
Yeah. So good. So good. What about you?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I definitely have
You've got
something
some
to
good
add.
stuff.
I think on that note of you are your child's first teacher, I think it's easy for us to forget that we're an example. And I think a lot of times we get stuck in the day-to-day, or we get stuck going through the motions, and we forget that your kids are watching. The next generation is watching. And I think this even goes far beyond that, right? Of your neighbor is watching, the people around you are looking. And I think we forget that we have purpose in that. We have purpose where our feet are at. And so
That's a good phrase, where our feet are at. I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah. Where
Purpose
God has
is-
us right now.
Totally.
Yeah.
You have so much immense purpose where your feet are at. And so, again, I think it's easy to forget that you're an example and that that's actually a high call to walk that out. But that, again, the next generation is looking. And I think even specific for our students, something that I just feel led to share is forgiveness is huge. Holding on to unforgiveness, holding on to grudges, and even cancel culture. I'm not sure if you've heard of this. It drives me nuts. I hate cancel culture. But somebody will mess up, right? Somebody will make a mistake, as we do, and everybody will say they're canceled. We're done with them. We're shunning them. Like, that's it. No more chances.
And it's a real thing.
It's a real thing. And so we see this in social media, and we see it, in their schools as well. And so even to that point, how powerful it is specifically for you all to walk out forgiveness, for myself to walk out forgiveness, and to your point, to share that. I think I'm not a mother, but I can understand that it would be easy to want to hide the not pretty parts of yourself, or to hide the mess, or to even hide your emotions. But I think it's really important to actually share and to actually say, hey, this happened to me, or hey, this person did this to me, and I'm actually feeling really hurt about it. And to open up and to share that, and then to actually walk towards the Lord, right? And say, hey, this person did this to me, but actually the Bible says that love covers a multitude of sins. And so I'm actually going to walk out forgiveness for this person. I'm actually going to stop and I'm going to pray, because the Bible also says, pray for my enemies. And so when you start walking that out and living out your faith in front of your kids, in front of, I mean, again, this goes beyond even your kids, your neighbor too, but specifically for kids or students that you're working with, it has a huge impact. Huge.
Because like my son's in the youth
Yeah.
group, and he's watching Stone and Allie in their marriage. I mean, yes, he's watching mom and dad, whatever. Whatever, it's mom and dad, it's all day long. Stone and Allie are cool. And my son and our kids are watching their youth pastor and his wife and how they do their marriage. And that is going to impact them. Just the impact. That's so cool that we have as a community, that it's not just our kids. And don't we just pray, Lord, just bring other adults into my kids' lives that they can watch and they can see and that they can bump up against and go, that's what I want. That's what I want to be. And just that example makes such a huge impact.
Yeah, one more quick thing is I think they just haven't seen it. Like a lot of times, they just haven't seen it.
Yeah.
They haven't seen it. And I think something that's a really powerful reminder is that the way that we love one another is actually an image of God to the people around us. And it actually bears his image, the way that we treat one another. And so when we overlook that sin that was committed against us, or whatever that forgiveness looks like, again, it has a huge impact. And they say, oh, I've never seen that before.
Right.
That's possible?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay, so we all want to parent well. We can all agree. We can all agree on something. Who says we all can't get along? We all want to be really good moms. And so on a practical level, so this is really good in theory, good ideas, really good ideas. So how can we do this on a Tuesday morning when you're just like, I think I went to a conference on Saturday, but I don't remember what I heard. What do we do? What's real?
Well, one thing that I wanted to mention about this is that we need to invite our kids into who we are. You know, when we became moms, I know when I became a mom, I really struggled with my identity of who I am as a mom now. I mean, I cut my hair short. I thought I could only shop in thrift stores now, and I could no longer go and shop the aisles of Target. But that was me. That was what I wanted to do. I wanted to have long hair, and I wanted to shop at Target. And I really struggled with allowing myself to be able to do that. And it took me a while to really realize that who I am actually makes my kids better when I can walk in what I feel good at.
Yeah.
You know, like
that's
now
so good.
I'm a Disney adult. Like, this is embarrassing
She
how much I love
100%
Disney.
is.
Yes. I mean, we go to Disney World all the time, and it's because I absolutely love it. And it's not because of the characters, it's not because of the rides, it's because of the time I get to spend with my kids. Mm-hmm. And in that moment, we are present, we are together, and there are no distractions because we're in Florida.
Right.
And so for me, I have had to find a way to invite my kids into a passion of mine and really just show them joy, show them love, show them something that I care about. And yes, I do bring my kids to Target now because I figured out it's okay. Like, we still thrift too. But I've invited my kids into who I am and what brings me joy so that they can really know who mom is.
Yeah. Another quote that I know that we've said here before is that we spend so much time worrying about our kids' faith, but what they really want to see is us stick to ours. And I think, because they watch us, it's like, okay, you say it matters, but does it actually matter? Does your faith actually matter? And when the fur is flying. Jesse, I'm just going to pick on you one more time because you and I have talked a lot because our sons, so my son Zion and her son Josiah in second grade were little besties and have been just in each other's worlds all the time. And so you've talked about community. So talk about community and how key that is.
I could not have done this without my community. Not just for me, but and not just for Josiah, but when we came together and linked arms, I mean, we were at football together, we were at basketball together, and we really started walking arm in arm and looking out for our kids. I mean, I still go out to brunch once a month with my son, Josiah, who's 20, almost 20. And another group of moms, we still go out for brunch once a month. Like, we stay connected because we keep an eye out for each other. We keep an eye on each other's sons. We are always wanting to check in on our boys. And, you know, when I see Zion at church or, you know, can check in on him on social media, you know, it's because I love them. You know, Zion, we've traveled together. He's come with us to San Diego. And when you build that community, it's a deeper connection. And I know that the pressure doesn't lay on me. I know that Julie has Josiah. And, you know, even this summer I had to call on Joel and Julie to, you know, help with a situation with Josiah. And I knew, though, that I didn't have to have fear in that moment because I knew my friends have it. And I knew that even though they're my friends, it stemmed from my son's friend group, you know?
100%.
I would just say, too, in order to do all of those things, we really have to release our own pride in saying, I need help. I mean, we are on 100% of the time, 24 hours a day. We are always on as moms and on all of our other roles. And so being able to release that and say, I really need help, and then, you know, we can step into those communities and have accountability.
We are not good at asking for help, Jess.
We're not. Did
We're
you say
just-
I'm not, or we?
We.
I would agree with both of those.
We are
We
not
and
good
I.
at asking for help. We're just not. Because we should be able to do it. And then we beat ourselves up, and then we can't do it, and then it's a mess, and blah, blah, blah. Yeah,
So just being able to release that is huge
I know.
to ask, because
know.
people want to help. And I just want to say, for Allie and anyone else that works with youth, thank you so much. You mean so much to our children in their lives. So it really matters. It's
It
a
does
huge
matter.
impact.
And
you
they
are a
always need
mother
and they
in
always
that
need
way.
volunteers. Kayla always needs volunteers in kids ministry. It's a thing. We need a team around us. Allie, you have so much good things.
Yeah, I, even in just preparing for this, and I know that I've mentioned this a couple times already, but I just couldn't shake the word identity. Because this is something that our students struggle with and something that they're facing. But I even think, to kind of wrap up what we've been talking about, what it actually looks like to be an example, what it looks like to be your kids or your students' first teacher. I mean, honestly, bare bones of this, where it starts is that you know your own identity. And you have a firm foundation. And so I really just couldn't shake that word identity, because even for all of us, I know this is something I've walked through, something I'm still walking through, right? Who am I? And actually walking into my identity as a daughter of Christ. And so even for all of you, I don't know all of you. I don't know what you walked in with today. I don't know what's going on in your life. But I do know that life is hard, and the Bible says we'll face trials of many kinds. So I know you're probably walking through your own trials right now. And so I hope that this just washes over you right now, that you are a daughter of the one true King. And so I don't know if that's a statement that you've ever even believed before. Maybe it's been in a corner and it's been dusty and you haven't really thought about it in a while. But just to remind you and to encourage you, and for you to actually sit with that you are a daughter of the one true King, and that is your identity. That is the bare bones of who you are. And then what's so cool about God is that we all share that, right? We're sisters in Christ. We're in this body. We're in this community with one another. But God is unique and personal and intimate, and he actually uniquely created each of us. And so again, maybe this is something that you know so well, but to be reminded again, for this to wash over you, that you were created with unique purpose, and God's actually calling, right? It says, he who calls is faithful, and he will surely do it. So just a reminder, God is calling you. He has a special plan for your life and a special purpose for your life, and even a reminder that you have purpose. Again, I'm not a mom. I'm kind of a mom, hopefully officially one day. But as I've gotten to know more mothers around me, and even becoming a wife, even just becoming an adult and facing new challenges, I think it can be easy. It can be easy to, again, start going through the motions, and you lose a sense of who you are, and you forget. And so again, just a reminder, and I think even to that point, something else I wanted to mention is tying kind of identity to, you are a daughter of Christ, you have to know who's calling you. You have to know who calls you daughter. And so, again, I don't know what your personal relationships look like with the Lord, but a reminder of who God is, even
so
to go back to what we said our students are facing right now, right? Anxiety, depression, a lack of peace, unrest, difficulty with unforgiveness or forgiving others. Man, this right here, there is something for each of those things, right? There's a verse, there's a scripture, and what this is God's love letter to us. This is his word. It's holy, it's active, it's alive, and this is where we find our firm foundation. Honestly, this is where we connect with the Lord.
on,
and so even to that point, who do we serve? Who is God? Maybe you need to be reminded of all that he is. And maybe you need to be reminded that if you're lacking peace, there's a God who is peace. If you're lacking belonging, if you feel unloved, God is love. He turns our mourning to dancing. And so even in awful circumstances or things that you never imagined for yourself or for your life, you can actually have joy because our joy is not based on our circumstances or how well things are going or how good we're doing or checking the boxes. Joy is actually found in the King, in Christ,
good,
because
girl.
he is joy. And so that source never runs
So
dry.
good. So good.
And so just a reminder that you can
Yes.
actually have all those things, right? You can walk confidently as a daughter of
Absolutely.
God because he never changes. Even though the world around us does, he never does.
And-
so
And if you have a middle schooler or a high schooler and you live in Northwest Denver, that is your youth pastor's wife right there. I'm just saying, if you're looking, we've got a good one. So can we give it up for our panel today?